Greetings, YouTube. You are staring at what I believe to be the biggest problem currently in the Alliance War system, and that is saying something. And it's a problem we're about to dive into, but first I just wanted to say off the top that Kabam has made some positive strides with Alliance War, though it's had many negative consequences, right? We've seen the alliances that get caught cheating, whether it be piloting or using mods, whatever, be docked points. Now, of course, those alliances, because of the current system of losing points, have gone from master or even platinum down to gold, or in some cases silver, and have made the new matchups a nightmare for the poor alliances that have to fight them. But to make matters worse, we have seen a lack of acknowledgement or understanding of one of the biggest issues that has needed to be revamped since the beginning of seasons, if not even before, and that's the matchmaking process. And what you're seeing here is a screenshot sent to me by a guy named McMuffin, which sort of sounds like McLovin, and also, of course, is the McMuffin like the McDonald's sandwich. I love the name. I love the name, buddy. But regardless, he sent me this matchup, and it is one of the worst matchups I have ever seen. His alliance, as you can see, has a prestige of 1,966 and was matched up naturally versus an alliance with 2,722 prestige. He sent me screenshots of his alliance members' top ratings versus theirs, and it's literally like an alliance that's best fighters are maybe 5-star rank 3 against an alliance with 565s and even a couple of rank 2 6 stars. Excuse me. So he said that since the attack phase started, they're just giving up, right? There's no point. Their defenders are way too hard for them to fight, and consequently the defenders that they have to go up against are very hard, if not impossible, for them to be able to defeat without spending major boosts and items. So Kabam, from the beginning, because of this matchmaking process, has essentially screwed McMuffin's alliance into automatically losing the war. And with the changes to Alliance War Season 5, with the different nodes, whether that be with the female champ boost or the lack of bleed damage, since everybody now is bleed immune, you're already having to tweak your roster, and you're already having to figure out what champs to bring in, which champions to put on the bench. And when you can't depend on a matchmaking process to make it even close to fair, and I get that there's always going to be some small discrepancy between alliances, and maybe it's a couple hundred points on average of prestige, that makes sense. But to have almost 1,000-point difference, you are making one alliance instantly screwed and just gifting the other alliance a total easy win. And with the high frequency of being burnt out from Alliance War seasons that we have seen every season, I think it's only going to get worse as more BS defenders come into the game, as more Korgs are distributed in the next couple of months when he becomes more readily available in like the 5-star crystal, and even if people start pulling him from featured crystals, you're going to see more and more burnout. I'm getting messages from people about once or twice a week who are in platinum alliances asking me if they can join my gold alliance because they're just burnt out and they want something that's not as stressful, because the rewards to them simply aren't worth the stress and the amount of units they use or glory they use for boosts. So I just want to say this. Kabam has a long way to go to instill the confidence and restore the confidence of the community with the matchmaking process. And if they don't tweak this, right, if they keep up the discrepancy of matches, and I also want to say this before I forget. There were some alliances who messaged me who said, "Prof, you won't believe this. We were trying to find an alliance to match with. We don't even care if they were 1,000 points ahead of us in prestige the last couple of days of seasons, and after waiting hours and hours and hours, we got nothing." And so there were several alliances that were super ticked because they were so close to either staying in, say, platinum or moving up, or maybe it's gold, and because they didn't get their last Alliance War in because they weren't matched, they just lost out on the opportunity to get any points for that. And then, of course, if you're up against alliances who maybe are a little bit worse than you in performance, but they get one more alliance war in, that could be the difference between moving up or staying in the same bracket, or even in some cases moving down to a different bracket entirely, which again is so frustrating because there's nothing that the alliance members can do because matchmaking is entirely in Kabam's server's hands. So yes, they have a long way to go. This should be a warning sign to all alliances that matchmaking is as broken as ever, and Kabam needs to put a stop to this if they want to instill the confidence in all alliances, because if they don't, people are going to continue to be burnt out. Alliance War Seasons is going to continue to force retirements or selling of accounts or just, leaving the game altogether in general. And that's not what Kabam should want. They should want to keep the excitement in their player base so they continue to be here for years to come. So tell me what you think. If you have any crazy matchup stories with any Alliance Wars, feel free to comment below. And as always, if you see something shady that you want to point out, feel free to message me on the Line app. My name is Prof Huff, one word.